Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to OTGW. It's Mikey.
It's Dan.
It's Mia.
So guys, we went and saw this YouTube video, and we had the feels tugged at us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this is a
Here,
YouTube
a little
video.
bit.
Yeah, like it's about beauty, and we love talking about beauty. Like we made a lot of old videos about standards of beauty, perception of beauty, and we talk about it all the time. It's a pretty important subject to me.
Yeah, because you have like 20 beauty routines daily.
That's
Okay,
not why.
there's nothing
just
wrong with
before
that,
you
by the
leave
way.
the apartment. I bet you he has more beauty routines than you do.
Do you really?
I don't. I have a very simple routine, but for you, those of you guys who watch us a lot, you know, it's important for me because beauty, to me, is is created by people around you, by the media, and most of all your parents. So
Here comes the parents.
I'm like, I knew you were gonna say
Here
that.
comes the parents.
Here comes the parents,
You got
Bob.
some, you got
Just
some
have to
mommy
bring it
daddy
up.
issues.
And
I guarantee you that.
And there's no other people in your life that builds an important perception of beauty than your parents. And it starts at a very young age. So that's why it hits home
I have
to
to
me.
say it's true to some extent.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to the girl.
Okay, well, let us tell you what we're talking about. This is the Dove commercial. They have a history of doing stuff like this. And
Right.
here they go again. So check out this video, a little snippet of it. So we have two doors here. They put two doors up.
Right.
And on one door, they labeled it average. And the other door, they labeled it beautiful.
Right.
And they did this all around the world.
Yeah. So they did it in like
A few cities.
Brazil,
I think in San Francisco,
China,
in Shanghai, in Brazil, and I think the other one's in London.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you look at it in the beginning, of course, everybody chooses the average
Right.
door.
Right. And then I think that's one of the themes is they interview the people, right?
Yes.
And they're like, and then a lot of those girls were like, well, if I had to choose again, I would choose beautiful.
Beautiful.
At the end.
At the end.
But in the beginning,
Right.
everyone went through the average door.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the mentality of
Right.
why they would choose the average door.
Right.
Right?
Well, I have a pretty sound theory for
is
that.
it the parents?
No, well, I'm not gonna throw in the parents
any
yet.
part of it.
But usually they're first when they see that they're surprised. Just like if I came up to you, I was like, "Hey Mia, do you think you're beautiful or do you think you're average?" So you're like, "Whoa!" Like you're shocked. So
Yeah.
their first instinct was they thought they were average because they thought this is what society sees me as. So society meaning media, and also my friends and possibly family's perception of me. So then they went average. But then when they thought about it some more, they were like, wait, actually, I think I'm beautiful and I have a lot to offer. So then I think that's why they regretted it. But I think they were kind of remorseful about. They were like, oh man, you know, how come I? It's like you sold out to yourself. You're like, wait a minute, I should not have cared about society's image of me first. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why they were kind of like sad about it.
Because at first, initially you think that the definition of beauty is those celebrities, like super
Correct.
beautiful and like
Correct.
everything is exaggerating. But at the same time, after you think yourself at an average and you do that, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not that bad. I'm
Right.
not an average. I want to be beautiful.
Can we just dive into the psyche of this a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I do want to point out that they left out the guys.
Okay.
There's no guys in this whole experiment.
Yeah, it's kinda like-
at least that we've seen. I'm sure if they left the doors like that, I'm sure guys have walked through.
Yeah.
So
You
why
think
they?
guys would do differently? Would they?
I
go
think
into
guys
the-
would do it differently because I think for guys is and this is also a reflection on kind of like what the media has done
Correct.
and what society has done because I think for guys we walk up if you saw something like that to me I wouldn't even think too much of it. I'd be like, yeah, I'm hot, like whatever. I'm gonna go through the beautiful door, even as a joke. Like guys who wouldn't even
True.
guys would just walk in like I'm beautiful, yeah, whatever, and they're like.
Or they'd be like, is there an extra beautiful one?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm hot as heck. Where is hot? There's only beautiful. I'm hot. So like, guys are just they don't care. They be like average. Who's average? I don't know because guys, we feel like who's gonna judge us?
Right.
Like we don't feel like there's much.
Or wait, who's gonna judge us based on our look alone? Is that
Right.
what you mean? Yeah.
Well, who's gonna judge us based on our look alone? Also, like most of society don't really judge guys like that.
Exactly. That's
And
true.
and think about the women's psyche. These women, they were interviewed. They actually had a whole thought process
Yeah.
before they went in through the door.
Right.
They literally stopped, looked at the door, and considered both options, which seemingly like they took forever to think about. Like
Right.
like a whole lifetime of thought just processed in that 10 seconds.
You know what one of the funniest parts was? There was one girl who literally took a look and just ran away. She's like, I'm not even gonna answer this. This is like too hard. And then you had daughters who were approaching the average door, and then you got the moms.
Yeah.
That was really touching.
That was cool, yeah.
I want to give a shout out to those moms because then you see them being interviewed, and the one mom was like, you know, I wish that other young women will go to the beautiful door. Well, guess what, Mom? Not every mom and dad are as awesome as you to tell their children how beautiful they are. I just want to say for the record, my parents never told me that I was ugly, but I feel very strongly because my friends go through this a lot. And not just women too, men too, but mostly women.
I mean, I thought it was a very simple gesture, but at the same time, it has so much meaning to it. My parents never told me that I was ugly, but they never called me beautiful either. So it was just like, okay, you're just average.
You're Asian.
That's what
Asian.
That's what we're talking about.
This is difference in culture, right? There was like a Chinese woman that went through the average door.
Right.
Right. So again, I'd be interested to know like maybe a statistic breakdown of
like which ethnicity goes through.
Exactly.
That would be a crazy, awesome anthropological, sociological study.
But I can imagine, like, I think in Asia, I'm just guessing here, but I'm thinking in Asia, there'd be more women choosing the average door.
Absolutely.
Because I think in Asia, people are more judgmental. Like as soon as you walk through, you're kind of feeling like everyone's eyes probably on you.
Yeah.
So then you're probably like thinking like some people are gonna be like, yo, what's so good about you?
Right.
Like, well, like, who do you think you are? You 算谁? You 算漂亮吗? Like stuff like
Right,
that.
exactly. That comes from the Cultural Revolution, where everybody's made to be the same. It's a conformist society. So not only that, but like you said, they're also going to get criticized by people like, oh, you think you're beautiful? Like Chinese people do that. They'll be like, you think you're beautiful?
Yeah.
Because you have to be humble about yourself,
Right.
so you tend to like downplay everything.
In today's society, you're more afraid of what other people are going to say about you. But in addition, I think Asian women, especially, the standard of beauty to them is unless I look like a K-pop star, I am not beautiful. But that's the thing, like this video brings up so many themes that we've actually talked about a lot in our last video. If you guys haven't checked it out, the girl that got plastic surgery.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of beauty? Like you said, like maybe girls, the first thing they think of, they're like outside beauty, right? Because when I think of beauty, I think of inside beauty. Like I think of true beauty. I don't know, Mike.
I don't know if I buy that.
You think I'm lying? You think I'm just telling them what they want to hear? Okay, bro.
I'll vouch for you. He does.
But why do you think? Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think that comes from?
Parents.
Thank you. That comes from.
By now, we all
know you're gonna say parents.
I'm growing
you
up.
have mommy and daddy issues.
I got mommy and dad. No, I have no issues with mommy and daddy. I have mommy and daddy issues with other people's mommy and daddies.
Well, that's the whole upbringing of Asian culture.
Right.
Is the parents bring you and they think they can mold you into a better person by telling you how not good you are. Right.
Or by comparing you to other people
who are better than you. Right.
So you'll be like, okay.
I gotta bring something up. You guys, this gets not kind of bad. I think that Asian girls have it the toughest in the world. Here's why.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear it.
I think in the West, the media is the biggest culprit. That's why Dove, right? Dove, this huge multinational corporation, is trying to use the media to change women's perception of beauty. Because in America, women's perception of beauty mainly is molded by media. It's called the female gaze. I actually wrote a paper about this in college. But anyways, I actually wrote about, that's why I also really like the subject, right? Because at home, their parents actually try to educate them about being individuals and embracing your individualism. But I think in the East, Chinese girls, Korean girls, especially Chinese and Korean girls, they grow up not only the media, K-pop stars, Asian singers, Asian whatever, but also you gotta add the parents' pressure on top of it. I mean, how many times have you heard? This is true story. This is what I hear all the time. The parents go to the Chinese girl. If you're not skinny, you're not gonna get ahead in life, and you're not gonna get a rich husband. Those are the major two things. Then they go out in the world and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I gotta look like Fan Bing Bing. Or,
Fine.
All right, fine. Fang Bing Bing. Fan Bing Bing. Bing Bing Fan. The X-Men chick.
Being compared to celebrities is one thing, but then being compared to, for example, your cousins.
Oh, yep.
Your friend. Your relatives.
Correct me.
It feels more relatable that way, and you're like, okay, I'm not as smart as he is. I'm not as pretty as she is. So it makes it even harder to me, I think.
But it's funny is that you feel that way now. but then the person who you're being compared to as prettier than you, their parents are also finding someone who's prettier than them.
Exactly.
The cycle never ends.
It never ends.
But let's go back to this beauty door thing. You know, so they did this all around the world, and at the end, like these people, the girls that went in, at the end they realized, okay, so maybe I shouldn't have chose the average door.
Right.
Maybe I should have chose the beautiful door. So the issue is, why didn't they immediately choose the beautiful door? Why did they have to even start to think and sit there and deliberate on like whether I'm average or beautiful? I think that has a lot to do with like every single thing that's going on in society.
Yeah, definitely.
Every single TV show, every single everything has taught women, not guys, but taught women that you are not beautiful unless you are this. And made most women feel that they're inadequate. But also, it's kind of weird because average, honestly, is average considered bad now?
Well, that's kind of one of the comments that was a lot of comments I've been throwing around in the video. Okay, you bring up a good point, but I'm like, it's not bad because it's average.
It's average.
You're not below average. You're not above average. You're average. But
You're like
to me,
most people.
but like this is where the cultural difference is, right? Like in Asia, it's almost okay. It's not just almost okay. It's almost the goal to be the average, to be the norm. This is why people, a lot of Asian families, they're like, just go get a job as a doctor, lawyer, engineer, because this is the norm for people that want to have a stable life. But in America, it's like, go for your dreams. Do what makes you happy. Okay, it's not okay to be average, be above average. So in my eyes, if you turn out to be average, that's okay. But I'm certainly not gonna tell my kids to shoot for average. That's just how I would answer that. But to answer your question, average isn't bad because it's average, technically.
So in this case, they're kind of indicating that average is not that good.
Right.
It's not beautiful. They had the signs, beautiful, average. They didn't say beautiful appearance-wise.
That's
They
right.
didn't say average appearance-wise.
But the girls, they automatically
assumed that I have to look beautiful to go through the door. You could be a beautiful person on the inside.
Because
that means you're still a beautiful person.
Exactly.
Then walk through that door, head held high. I do feel like at least here, it's
in America
maybe improving because of what companies like
Dove is trying to do.
I get you're trying to sell soap.
Yeah,
okay, I get that. You're
facial moisturizer.
Company. I get you're trying to sell
soap.
Well, whatever. I get this is just
exactly.
purely a charitable whatever thing, a social image. Like you're trying to solve a deeper issue.
Right.
You say that,
but
you're a for-profit company. Let's be honest here. Nowadays, like
a
lot of big movie stars, they may not be your typical beauties, but they're they're huge because they are people find them attractive,
is the word because it encompasses just physical appearance.
Exactly.
It's everything that you are.
But we're still beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
In our own way.
In our own way, exactly. But me and you know that. But girls has that extra layer of like notions. Like, wait, society's beauty, my parents' beauty.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Where did you get all this?
Well, let me put
Mia on the spot.
Mia on the spot. You saw the door. Which one do you choose?
Yeah, right when you first saw the door.
Not gonna lie, my first reaction would be to go through the average door.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say,
what's your
I don't
mindset?
know.
What's your
It's whatever we talk about so far. It's society's standard of beauty. I would go through that door and then I would go through the same thought process. Oh, wait a minute. Am I really just average? Do I really want to see myself as that way?
Right.
Then if I don't sell myself, who's gonna sell you, right? Because then self-love is the first step.
See, the difference is if me and Dan were there, we would go through the beauty and we took selfies in front of the beauty and we posted everywhere. There's definitely, a double standard here, but we do hope that those of you guys who are watching, we talked about this. This kind of seemed to be a common message we've been in a lot of our videos. All right, guys, stay beautiful. You are beautiful. Walk through that door labeled beautiful.
Yes.
Thanks so much for watching.
Peace. Bye.
See you later.
Remember that song by James Blunt? You're beautiful, it's true. I saw your face.
He has no idea.
In a crowded place.
Something.
I am beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Every
No matter
single
what
day.
He knows that one.
What was your beautiful song? You had something earlier.
You had one.
As old as time.
That's not a beauty song.
That's Beauty and the Beast, man.
That's not something about beauty, bro. That's
the ultimate beauty song. Beauty. It says in the title.
Beauty and the Beast. You forgot about the Beast part. That's not like just beauty alone. It's Beauty and the Beast.
I know,
different,
but that song is all
just not the
encompassing.
same.
Failed, bro.
Okay.